You probably can't tell what that is behind me across the street, but that is a Tyson Chicken Factory. Classic Council Bluffs. First thing I'll start you with, Council Bluffs poker stats. I told you yesterday, this is what today's video would be. How about some buy-in days? Days I've won a buy-in, days I've lost a buy-in. 67 times in my life in Council Bluffs, I have won at least a buy-in. 41 times in my life, I have lost at least a buy-in. More specifically, 23 days I've won at least 2 buy-ins, at least $600, and only 4 days have I lost at least 2 buy-ins. A day of minus 600 or worse, and I have the totals on all those days also. Give me a second. The 4 days where I lost at least 2 buy-ins, the sum of those 4 days, minus $2,695, but the 23 days where I won at least $600, the total on that, $23,827. So a lot better on the winning days than the losing days. Not just the amounts, also the quantity. Some people are like 50-50. Their very big winning days happen just about as often as the very big losing days. I have more winning days than losing days, and they're also more severe, the amounts. 11 times I had a day where I won at least $1,000, and everyone knows how many times I've lost at least $1,000 in Council Bluffs. 0, because I've never had a minus $1,000 day in my life anywhere. But let's do some hours instead of money. I like the hours more than the money. What about my 20 longest sessions in terms of time ever in Council Bluffs? The minimum, so my 20th longest session of all time in Council Bluffs, 11 hours, 51 minutes. My number 1 longest session of all time, 16 hours, 39 minutes. And the average of my 20 longest sessions ever in Council Bluffs, 13 hours, 8 minutes. 16 of those 20 are winners, so that's a pretty good clip. 80% winning sessions when you sort it based on session length, the longest 20. And the money, $9,720 in my longest 20 sessions ever in Council Bluffs, over about 263 hours, which is very close to $36.98 per hour. Now the last thing I'm going to tell you is my lifetime hourly here, and I want to preface it by saying one of my all-time terrible stretches in poker ever was when I first moved here in 2017. The first 300 hours were horrendous. Now it happens, and I kept playing and kept trying to make smart decisions, not change my decisions based off the fact that I just felt like I was going to lose, even though that was the case. I lost to a lot of 2 and 3 outers for a long time. I lost to a lot of backdoor. It was ridiculous. There were all-ins on the flop where there was no turn card that could help the other guy, and he would hit backdoor. That was happening constantly. Anyway, for the first 300 hours here, I won about $3 per hour. It's actually amazing now that it's a positive number, because at the time it felt like I was just never winning hands and never winning sessions, but I did manage to be in the black at $3 per hour for the first 300. So the lifetime hourly here is $14.08. And if you remember from my video way back, my lifetime hourly everywhere is like $14.09 or $14.10. It's a very close number because I started out so poorly. The first 300 hours were awful. Since then, my most recent 1,800 hours or so has been a pretty consistent like 16 per hour. Now 16 per hour compared to 14 might not sound like a huge difference. For one, I would love to always make $2 more an hour than I do. Last year that would have gotten me like $4,300 more than I made. So $2 an hour is a lot. And here, it's not just easy games. There's more money available. Like, there's more money on the table. There are more bets. There are more multi-way flops. But it's also difficult. It's aggressive, and not just like recklessly aggressive. It's aggressive in like a smart and thought out way here. So these games are deep, and you have the opportunity to make money, but they're also difficult. So 16 an hour makes sense here. These are by no means the easiest games I've ever played in. Probably the 2 cities that were the easiest for my style were Milwaukee and Thackerville. Just felt like I was always in control, and it wasn't very volatile at all. And out here, there could be some big losses, and it could be real swingy within the day, within the week, the month. So 16 an hour for my most recent 1,800 hours here makes sense. And it's more than my lifetime hourly overall, but not much more, because even though there is a lot of money to be had, it's not so easy to get it sometimes. And the money. What about my 20 longest sessions in terms of time ever in Council Bluffs? What's the average session? $23,827. I said that weird. $23,827. So more specifically, 23 days I've won at least 2 buy-ins. Only 4 days I've lost at least 2 only 4. More specifically, just fuck it.
Yeah, I got it at the stadium in May.